And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. I have my good friend Tamiko here with me. We're going to be doing our review of the Terminator. We're revisiting the Terminator, and it's been a long time since I've seen it. It's been some years, and I got a lot of things to say about it that I really have to say that I enjoy this film, revisiting it after so many years. So, with further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's get on with the show, and welcome everyone. And hey, Tamika, how are you?
Hey, what's going on? I wasn't doing nothing.
You weren't moving your camera a little bit or anything like that?
No,
No?
no.
No? Okay. You're lying, but it's good. But how you been?
I've been good.
That's good. That's real good.
Heard a very strange commercial that people will be hearing soon. That's all I gotta say.
Yep, for the Big Kahuna Burger and also for Nuka-Cola. So there you go. But anyways, guys, welcome to the show. So it's been a long time since I've seen the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say it's been at least 10, maybe 15 years since I've seen the Terminator. I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's about the same for me.
And what was your thoughts on revisiting it when we decided that we were going to go on ahead and review the Terminator?
First, I had to find out where it was.
By the way, it's streaming on Max, by the way.
I was like, well, okay, we're going to do the Terminator. Okay, John, where is it? But yeah, I'm getting to it. Just calm down.
Okay, you're good.
But yes, my first thoughts were, oh, it makes sense now. Like if you watch the Terminator and then you watch the second one, you understand why she was like, oh no, it's him again. You see the drastic change between the two. I don't know what to call
like PTSD.
No, like the two Terminators or machines.
There's actually the T-100, and then this
Cyborg.
is actually Cyborg.
Yeah, you see the difference between the two. Like one is on a murderous rampage for this one woman, and then on the second one it flips, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I don't want to kill you anymore. I want to help you." I wouldn't trust him either. I'm like, what? I mean,
right.
Put a gun to my face in the bar, and now you tell me you want to help me? No.
Well, that was a different version. That was a different version of that, though.
Oh, he got an upgrade.
Yeah, he got a nicer upgrade. I believe that's the Y2K bug.
Oh, he got a software. His software was out of date.
That's what it was.
That's why he went crazy and tried to kill her. But in the second one, since his software was upgraded, he was fine.
Right, exactly. That's the theory that I'm going with.
The nightmares I have about my Alexa and my iPhone. Like, what if they turn into like this Terminator because I missed the update?
Like, you know what though?
To think about.
Well, you know what? It makes me think about AI, and we'll get into that in a few minutes.
Oh my gosh. Something. Okay.
But, revisiting this thing again and remembering what Arnold said when James Cameron came up with the pitch for it, because at that time, Arnold was like, I do not want to be a villain. I want to be a hero. That's what I've signed up for. I did not want to be a villain. Well, James pitched the idea. He goes, look, man, you already know the body movements of how this thing is supposed to move, for one thing, because you even pitched the idea to me about how the machine's supposed to move. Then also, two, another thing that happened was this. He's like, look, I want to be the face of an action star. I cannot be a face of an action star if I'm a villain. And he goes, well, think of it like this. You're not the villain. You're just a robot killing people because of the fact somebody else sent that robot into the future. You're just doing what it's programmed to do. So therefore, you're not technically a villain. Hey, baby.
Hey, Brandy. Is that how James spun that to Arnold? And he said, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's exactly how he spun it to Arnold, because I read that in his 7 tools to be useful. And he actually talked about how They had dinner and they talked about it and about how Arnold wanted the body movements to be just like a robot.
Okay. And then he threw money at him, and Arnold said, I do have bills to pay. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
James, you sneaky bastard. How dare you
And
do that to Arnold?
but for further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's dive into this. So, welcome, movie buffs and sci-fi enthusiasts, for another thrilling episode of the Terminator. And I'm your host, the T800, and as always, I'm joined by my fellow other co-host Tamika, and absolutely mind-blowing. So grab your popcorn, buckle up, and let's transport ourselves into a world where Skynet was born in the midst of wartime chaos. Before we jump into the alternate timeline, let's set the stage by revisiting the original Terminator and exploring its impact of the cinematic landscape. So this is directed by James Cameron, produced by John Daly, Derek Gibson, Gail Ann Hurd, written by James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, and William Wisher Jr., starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Biehn, Linda Hamilton, Lance Henriksen, and Paul Winfield, and of course Earl Bowen. But yeah, this movie had a budget of $6.4 million and made $78,371,200 at the box
Whoa.
office.
Jeez.
So it made bank.
Yeah. How does
So
James Cameron come up with these ideas? Like, does he look at, like, I don't know what was around back then in that. Well, yeah, I'm from the 80s. But whatever the latest technology, he's like, I wonder if that can wake up and kill people. I'm gonna write a story about it.
you know what? I think I'm gonna write that down. Okay,
Yeah,
we need someone big. Let's see, Arnold. Yeah. Okay, check.
yeah, he looks dumb and big and a robot. I pick him.
But yeah,
James. Okay.
but yeah, the film opens with a deception of the year 2029, a possible future where mankind has been oppressed by artificial intelligent machines led by the rebellious computer system Skynet. This computer becomes Senate and started a nuclear war by hijacking controls over the United States nuclear arsenal, launching the ICBM in a devastating attempting to annihilate humanity. Subsequently, a post-apocalyptic war is raged in the future where a small resistance group of free humans try to win back their planet and survive the machine's onslaught led by the heroic and influenced General John Connor. Connor is the man responsible for the creation of the human resistance and credited with rescuing mankind from extinction by rallying survivors to combat Skynet's forces. So the opening I definitely like. I really like the dark, basically a apocalyptic kind of
Mhm.
feel, And yes, I do have to agree. Linda Hamilton is definitely a badass in this film.
Yes, John. I like the beginning too, and so do a lot of women. Like you see butt naked Arnold appearing like Thor, and he's just walking around naked. And then I could have sworn I saw more, but that's fine. I don't know how they.
Well, if you have the 4K version, I'm sure you did see more.
I need the 4K version. I always wondered, like, why. I guess it makes sense why they appeared naked when they come to Earth or the future. Or, no,
I'm
the
thinking
past,
it's the fact
whatever it
that
is.
clothes absorb. I think because of the fact of how powerful that time machine is.
Yeah.
I think it just absorbs and rips off the clothing to
Uh-huh.
the point where that's what I'm thinking that happens.
Okay. I mean, if they were smart enough, they would build something that doesn't rip. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking too much. I mean, I just found a flaw in their system. So we
It's a,
do have a way to defeat Skynet. I just want you to know that.
exactly.
Okay,
So
thank
through the year is not specifically mentioned. The present day of the movie will start at the year 1984. Los Angeles introduces the arrival of the Terminator, a Series 800 Model 101 infiltrator unit sent back in time by Skynet to assassinate Sarah Connor, mother of the future savior of mankind and Skynet's greatest enemy before he is conceived by an unknown father the following year. So, since the time machine Skynet uses it's only capable of sending organic matter, clothes, weapons, etc., can't be sent back.
mm,
Any being used, the time machine must travel nude. The cyborg assassin is able to travel due to covering a living organic skin that protects the robotic metal skeleton combat chassis, but most also abide by these rules and arrives nude as well. The T-800, knowing it must wear clothes to maintain cover and infiltrate modern society, confronts the first person it meets that that have capabilities, clothing sizes in the case. They are three punk rockers drinking by an observation telescope at Griffin Observatory. The T-100 approaches them, and after several verbal sparring demands, he takes their clothing. So, what did you think about that?
I just, yeah, I'm just imagining some naked guy walking up to me and like, give me your clothes. And then they're like, what's wrong? Laundry days canceled or some smart comment he said. And I mean, and they thought they could take him. And then, of course, like you just mentioned, he kicks the shit out of him. And then the
Right,
guy gives him his clothes. I mean, that's intimidating enough. And but it just shows too how advanced these machines are, because he's able to speak in their dialect after he assesses the situation, um whatever, mechanically.
right,
He's
exactly.
like, give me your clothes. He didn't, there's no robotic language or anything. It's
No, it's just basically that's how a robot would actually move, how he would ask, how ask for clothing and everything. He goes, "Give me your boots." He does not know how to actually ask for anything. He does not have any emotion, doesn't have any type of feeling for it. He just wants what he wants, and he's going to kill you no matter what. So there's no rhyme or reason. He's just going to
mm,
go in and kill you. So he kills Bill Paxton. He kills the rest of the punk rockers, takes their clothes, then goes over to a telephone booth and winds up selecting different people named Sarah Connor.
I was thinking about that, how messed up that would be. Like an actual serial killer, right? And they looking at all the Sarah Connors and they just taking them out one by one. He's like, crap, that's not the right one. Like, you can't go back and say my bad because the person's dead.
Exactly. But also too, there's also the other part too with the whenever he's getting all the guns and
Oh
he's naming off
gosh.
every single gun that he has
Yeah.
that the owner has. And this reminds me of GTA so much, where all the guns are actually out in the open to where people can see
Yeah.
them. And
Yeah. You
there's
talking
also rounds that's actually sitting on the counter. And I also have a fan theory. This is my fan theory. I
about,
think
okay,
that
let's go.
this is actually the same guy who plays on Gremlins.
Huh? What?
Yeah, yeah. The
What
pawn
the?
shop or the gun owner who
Yeah.
actually owns the shop is from Gremlins.
Oh, jeez.
So my theory is this: I think he ended up after all the events that happened over where the Gremlins were. I think
Uh,
he traveled over to this city in Los Angeles to get away from all that, and he opens up his own gun shop.
yes.
And then here comes the Terminator, and he winds up killing him after surviving the Gremlins.
Oh my gosh. And then
I
he
know I'm going out
dies.
there.
And then he dies.
Yeah,
I mean, he was so excited too. He walked in there. He's like, all right. He's like, I will take them all. He's like, oh my God, good
well, I'm
payday. All
going to pack up
right.
early today.
All right.
Okay.
The clothes. All right. That'll be, sir. No, I do not have money. What? Don't get these guns. He was calculating. All right. They're probably like $1,000 some in sales.
Well, not only that, but okay, he said this to him too. He goes, "Look, you can. There's actually a 30-day wait on the pistols, but the rifles you can take." I'm like, I would think that you could take the guns before you could take the rifles, but this is the 80s, so anything goes.
Listen, if he come to Georgia, he could just walk in there and walk out.
Right? But but he goes on ahead. He kills the owner, walks up with all the guns. I like how he's over there just taking the guns and everything at first, and he's, ooh, this is an Uzi automatic. And then he goes, oh yeah, you know your guns, you know your stuff. And next thing you know it, he winds up killing with the shotgun. He walks out with all his ammo, and then he's ready to go. And then he goes over to, like I mentioned before, he goes over to where the telephone booth is, looks at all the Sarah Connors. And this is exactly why we shouldn't trust AI to try and do anything, because of the fact that he accidentally killed the wrong Sarah Connor.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, he just went to that lady's house, and she's like, yes. And she's the sweetest lady. Are you Sarah Connor? Why,
Sarah
yes,
Connor?
I am Sarah.
Yes.
How can I help you? Oh. Me with the chain on. Yeah, what you want? You Sarah Connor? No.
And then all of a sudden, he doesn't even give the woman a chance to even not unlock the door. He just goes in and
Finally,
then shoots her.
I can go back home now. No, that's the wrong Sarah. No, shit.
Could you just imagine the programmer telling the robot, go, that's the wrong one, you idiot.
Oh,
shit.
Shit.
My bad.
Back to the phone book. Back to the phone book.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you
and then, okay, what's up?
So the computers ask us, right? Are you a robot? Are they trying to like reach out to their kind? Like, is there some secret?
I wonder if it's the fact that they think that we're robots.
Oh.
What do you think of that?
See, we're totally sober and we're having like conversations like high people do.
Right.
Why do they ask us, are we robots?
Bro,
Like,
are we robots? Or are we like human?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Do they think we'll infiltrate their secrets? Is it like a speakeasy? Are you a robot? Say the secret code.
Right? Sarah Connor? Right?
Boom. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so meanwhile, in another part of Los Angeles, human resistance soldier Kyle Reese gets sent into 1984, has arrived through time as well, tasked with protecting Sarah from the T-800, which was sent back as a last second act of desperation by Skynet to eliminate its enemy's entire existence. He steals clothes from a homeless man and a shotgun from an unhidden police vehicle. The Terminator cynetic murders of the first two Sarah Connors draws media attention and the attention of police. Lieutenant Ed Trexler and Detective Hal Beckwich. The remaining Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton, a hapless 19-year-old waitress with a dull life who lives with her best friend and roommate, Ginger Ventura, finds out about the other two Sarah Connors murdered on television, but worried by the name connection and nothing that she is being followed by her unknown protector Reese. She takes shelter in a local club called Technor, where she calls the police for protection. So, okay, so if you were working as a waitress and you happen to see that there was actually a woman named Sarah Connor, which is the same name as you, would you be throwing up red flags like her friend did? Or would you be like, well, it's just a coincidence, so therefore I have nothing to really worry about. It's just kind of ironic and kind of scary that this person's actually named that.
I'm
Has the same name as me.
Of people anyway. So the first Tamika Jackson, I'd be like, oh crap, let me call the police. This is no coincidence. They out to get me, man. Then it's so sad. It's like all those Sarah Connors, and then he's like doing the line drawing, like crap, scratched one line, crap, one line, wrong one, wrong. Like, How many Sarah Connors before you know? Why didn't they give him a picture? Like, it's AI, right? They didn't have like a futuristic picture of her. Oh, are you on mute?
Oh yeah, don't forget, like
Those
Reese,
fingers.
right? Well, don't forget though, with Reese and everything in that flashback, the picture was burnt. So
Oh.
therefore, that he didn't have any identification. So we had to go through the yellow pages just to find different Sarah Connors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it made it a little bit more harder for him to find the right one.
Okay, but like this is Skynet, right? And Skynet
Right.
can do anything, and they're this holier than thou AI, and they're supposed to be better than us humans, but they could not produce a generated picture.
No, they
Okay,
couldn't.
thank you for answering my question. That's
You're right.
another hole in their theory.
Well, even RoboCop had generated videos and everything. This one didn't
That's
even
what
have
I'm
anything.
talking about. Why did
Right.
RoboCop Detroit what? You know,
They're more advanced than
dang.
than Skynet,
That's messed up. That's
right?
messed up. That's gonna be a
But
Reddit theory.
you can already feel the Reddit, huh? But you know what though? I have to say though, I like the scene where Sarah's just kind of shocked over there at the moment of like, okay, is this just coincidence or is just this just happens to be one of those things where I'm in danger,
Mm,
you know?
yeah.
But to have like two Sarah Connors being killed in the same day,
Mm-mm.
that's more than coincidental.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for her to go back to her apartment, like, okay, well, those are just two Sarahs gone. I'm just gonna go on and continue with my life.
Yes, but also her coworker made a joke out of it too. So I'm thinking, because she was like, "Hey, you're dead, babe." I mean,
Right?
and her coworker made a joke like that, and she's like, "Ha ha ha! Oh yeah, you're right. It's just a joke." So I don't think her guard was up either, since her
No,
coworker didn't think it was a big deal. So she was like, must not be a big deal to me either. Let me finish my shift.
exactly. So I'm just gonna go ahead, talk to this rude customer, and get these orders wrong.
Man, the kid that put the ice cream in her
Mm-hmm.
pocket. Oh
I'm sorry, I would have slapped that kid.
my god. Right?
My mom would actually. I would be in a full body cast probably.
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
But okay, so another thing too is we also get to see the fact that you have the lieutenant who's also concerned about this though too.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see that play out with the detectives. Like, well, no, we keep on trying to reach her, but it's not. Their lines are busy or whatever. While we're getting us an answer machine, and I know that's reaching all the way to where the club scene and everything else is. But I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to reach out to her even then
Mm.
too, and it was
Yeah.
only getting the answer machine probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yes, but her roommate and her roommate's horny boyfriend are hogging the line with phone sex. So maybe that's why they couldn't get through either.
right, exactly. Because remember, first Sarah answers the phone and he goes, "What are you wearing, baby? I want to go on ahead and take your underwear off with my teeth."
Yeah, and then she listening, giggling. I was like, huh? Why are you listening?
Watching that scene was kind of cringy because I'm like, because it's the 80s, right? So
Yeah,
at first we're thinking this is actually pretty funny because it's Sarah that answered the phone.
yeah.
But at the same time, though, it's like, it's kind of cringeworthy in a sense. And then Sarah's
Yeah.
just laughing her ass off the whole entire time because her friend's boyfriend is over there talking dirty to her, thinking that it's Sarah. And then Sarah, oh, it's Sarah. Oh, okay. So she winds up handing the phone over to her roommate, and he does the same thing. Like he doesn't have no chill. He's just
No.
gonna go on ahead and keep doing what he was doing.
Yeah. Because at first I thought he was calling for phone sex, and I was like, oh, okay, this her night job. She's a phone sex operator, or her roommate
No,
is,
no, no. I didn't go
and
that
that's how
far.
they pay the bills. And she was like, oh, I forgot the roommate's name. She was like, it's for you, and I thought, oh, that's one of her customers. I didn't know to maybe midway that was her boyfriend. I thought, oh, this is one of the customers calling for some phone sex. And that's how the roommate helped with the bills.
No.
Okay.
My mind didn't go there. I'm gonna be real with you.
You waited, like, I'm gonna wait, but it's a no. But I'm gonna let her finish. No.
Her name is Ginger, by the way. Her name is Ginger,
okay.
though.
Yeah, that's a
But yeah,
stripper.
Ginger, yeah. But remember this though, they also had dates to go out and everything. And the guy that
Yes.
Sarah was supposed to see or whatever was going to stand her up again. So therefore she's like, well, just go out anyways, and even though there's actually a murderer coming at you. But this actually feels like a slasher film in a sense, the way that the camera angles are.
Yeah.
It kind of has that horror movie kind of feel to it that I like.
Yes, especially the girls talking about going out and getting dressed. And there's danger looming around, like you said. And it's always how it is with the Jason movies and all the other movies. They're like these they're not teenagers, but teenage girls or boys or whatever, like come and like, oh yeah, let's smoke some weed, or yeah, let's go to a party, let's do something. And it's like, okay, so is Sarah Connor being punished for her sins?
No. I don't think so.
Okay, I went too far.
Innocent
That's
bystander.
Jason. Okay, got it. That's Jason. Okay, got it.
But yeah, I think that I don't know what's up with that. Did you hear that or no?
No.
But no, I think that she's an innocent bystander, and she's someone that basically because of the fact of the circumstances that the T-800 winded up trying to kill her. That's basically all there is,
Okay. Got it.
But another thing I want to talk about is the fact that, okay, so Reese is there. Reese is following her, trying to protect her, and she's running away from Reese the whole entire time.
Yeah, I would too. I don't know who's trying to kill me.
Right. And so Reese is over there looking at her. She winds up going into this club. Meanwhile, you have Ginger and her boyfriend having sex, and then here comes the Terminator. He kicks in the door and kills Ginger and the boyfriend. And my thing is this is back before AirPods was even invented or anything. And you have those little crappy ones that look like they came from the dollar store.
Yeah, with the foam on it.
Yeah, she's downstairs acting like she's banging on the drums and everything. Not a care in the world that her boyfriend's getting the shit kicked out of him while he's upstairs. And she's getting down on that broccoli and everything, on the zucchini or whatever it is that she's doing. And
okay. John, you gotta give her some grace. Okay. Like, think about your favorite band and you got them blasted up in your headphones, and you're like, oh, here come the drum solo.
Here comes your boyfriend flying through the door while you're making a sound.
No, your eyes are closed, right? Your eyes are closed, and you're like, oh yeah. And you don't know what's going on. You just in the zone. No. Okay. All right. Well, I tried to help you, Ginger.
Unless it's the Phil Collins song of "I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight." Yeah, that's whenever I would be, all over that.
That's me, Metallica, and something else. Yep. If Metallica is on, please don't get killed around me, because I can't help you. I'm like, oh shit, you getting killed? Okay, my bad.
But yeah, he kills Ginger and the boyfriend. After hearing a voice on the answer machine, it realizes that Sarah is somewhere else, and after finding Sarah's university ID, sets out to track her down. Now, this thing that makes me laugh is that club can't be that far away from that apartment, because all of a sudden he just shows up.
No, he got GPS. He knows.
But still, that was pretty fast on how he got there, though. Like,
They
he's at the
walk.
apartment, and then all of a sudden it jumps over into where the club is, and Sarah's over there. And of course, this is also when the lieutenant winds up saying, "Hey, look, we're going to make the news work for us for a change instead of us working for the news."
Of
So he
course.
winds up getting on the air, telling Sarah to give the cops a call because they're looking for her, so that way they can protect her because there is a serial killer out there killing people named Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes over to the payphone because she sees Reese over there looking at her, creeping.
Mm-hmm.
And then she realizes, oh, it's an out of order payphone that she's at. But she winds up finally getting over to another payphone, and she winds up calling the apartment, and she gives the address, she gives the phone number, thinking that her roommate and all them are alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, "Hey, can you guys come get me? I'm at da 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 da, and I'm wearing a pink shirt and this and that. You know, all the information. My social security is this. My hair color is this. My eye
Can't go
color is
that
that."
far.
Yeah, she might as well. And he's like, "Okay, got it, got it, got it. I know who I'm looking for. Check." But yeah,
But
that club's. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to talk about the club scene for a
Oh
minute,
yeah,
though,
me
too,
too. Yeah, let's go.
because I thought this was horrifying. You have Reese over there creeping at her. Then the Terminator comes in, T-800. And I like how they have this scene where Arnold is walking into the place and then Sarah drops something and he
Yeah,
happens to glance her away. I'm like, oh my God. Even though I know she's going to be okay in this scene, that scene still makes me nervous because you're thinking that she's going to end up lifting her head up and he winds up seeing her
yeah,
right then and there. So it has a, like I said, it has that horror sci-fi kind of vibe to it that I wish that the Terminator would go back to, because this is the Terminator that I like to see. Of
okay.
course, the second one also had that horror kind of vibe though too, but this one started it all though.
So, do you like Arnold as this Terminator?
I like him as the hero than I do this one, but it's horrifying to see a
Mhm,
guy that is towering over this woman
mhm.
as built like Arnold. And of course, you need to have someone like that. Anyone else, I wouldn't be as intimidating as Arnold back in those days. So
Yes.
I do like it. I do like the fact that it is Arnold for this one,
Uh-huh.
because you need someone that's actually scary, like Arnold for the
Yeah.
80s.
Yes. And then, when he's walking over to her and the music is slowing down and it's just him walking and she's staring at him. It was, if you could put like a romantic song on in the background, it's really beautiful. Like he's coming.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah, he's like coming to her slowly, and she's like, "What are you coming?" And then like right
Or the
before the gun come up, but before that, it's kind of romantic. If you put like a nice love song in the background, he's like, "Come out of all the women, it's you I really want."
This guy was really desperate though. The T-800 definitely didn't give her up.
Yeah, see, never
Never
gonna
gonna
give
give
you
you
up. Cut. That's all we can pay for.
we only have 5 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
It's a twisted love story. I'm gonna put
in
that
that
out
case, then
there.
Michael Myers is also a twisted love story too.
I'm gonna put that out there for Reddit to go crazy on.
Well, but then this is also too what the cops told her too is stay where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna send a police car after you. Do not move. Do not go into the bathroom. Don't do anything. And she's staying at that table, and the T-800 does spot her finally, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Because then he takes out the gun, getting ready to put it to her head. Reese comes around and takes out his shotgun, and winds up knocking Arnold off his ass with the shotgun blast.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how the movements that Arnold does in this is exactly how a robot would move. I definitely love it.
Yes.
And especially when he removes his hand, like a little like flick, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. I thought that was really cool of what we got for the
I
80s.
think his bodybuilding days really helped him with the poses because it's very mechanical. Like his body moves and then his head moves later on. He really has that down pat.
But yeah, so while Sarah's waiting for the police at Tech North, the Terminator and Reese both arrive to acquire her. Reese, not knowing that the Terminator looks like what the Terminator looks like, has to wait to make a move before he is able to intervene to save Sarah from the Terminator. The Terminator and Reese wreak havoc at the disco in their amusing firefight. The Terminator killing 6 people in the process. Reese empties his stolen police shotgun into the Terminator chest, knocking it into a reboot cycle. He then grabs Sarah, and then both flee in a stolen vehicle while the Terminator pursues in a hijacked car. While fleeing, Kyle tells the terrifying Sarah what is going on. To her initial disbelief, after an intense shootout between Reese and the attacking Terminator, the police arrive and arrest Reese and Sarah and bring them to West Island Police Station. The Terminator escapes unseen and breaks into a hotel room to perform self-repairs on its damaged eye and right arm, having to cover the damage with sunglasses. So my thing is this. I like also too the scene where down there actually in the alleyway, Reese and her winds up running out. She at this point she doesn't trust Reese, but she knows that she needs him in a sense because of the fact that he did wind up, taking a shotgun and shooting this guy.
Yep.
And she knows, okay, well, he's here to protect me in a sense, even though I don't really know him that well. So they wind up stealing this car. They wind up banging into this police car. The police car winds up, the guy in the police car said, well, we need an ambulance for these 6 people that died, and also for a felon for a hit and run with the police vehicle. And so then that one scene though too, whenever you see the T-800 just jump on the hood and then punches the windshield.
Yes. I remember that. Like this movie and all those movies from the 80s, they made me miss those type of car chasing scenes. Because I like car chasing scenes.
But, me too. And they seem like they're a lot longer in the 80s though, the way they do them.
Yes.
And I really like it.
Yeah, they're a lot longer and they're choreographed great. And then I miss those old 80s police cars. And when I was looking at the movie, I was like, oh, there they go, those old police cars. And it's like the damage was just monumental. It's like crashing, pile up, fire, people punching through windshields on fire, just everything like a buffet, a carnage of chaos. Right there,
exactly
80s style, and I'm like, man, this sun blow up like you tap the sun, boom, half the street blow up. It's like, well, that don't make no sense, but that was cool.
Right, I want to see more of that, and then they give you more.
James Cameron was like, okay, he tapped something else, boom. Oh my god, it's great. I loved it. I love that
car. That's actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie though itself, and then them trying to look. Then the police winds up trying to look for them in the parking garage.
Yes, that's my favorite too. Like when, they get in the car and then the Terminator finds them, and then it's like they're on opposite ends, but they're shooting at each other from outside the windows. I don't think I've seen that in a movie since.
No, and if it was filmed today, it would have been shaky cam to the point where we couldn't see all the action sequences.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would like to know more about how they choreographed that.
I thought the choreography for that was actually really good. We got to see all the action sequences within that too. And then you also hear Reese telling Sarah, hey, look, I'm sent here to protect you from the T-800s robots. And they're here to terminate you and kill you. And your son from the future sent me here to protect you. And I like how she looks at him like, are you serious right now?
Yes. It's like we the audience know he's telling the truth. But then I'm like, you sound crazy. I don't know if I
Right,
believe
because think of it like this: if we were in the car with Reese and they
it.
said, and he winds up saying, "Well, your son sent me from the future to protect you," I'm like, "Okay, buddy. Thank you for saving my life. I do appreciate that. You go your way, I'll go my way. We don't meet in between, and have a good life."
Yeah, and then you bite him like Sarah did. And that was an awkward bite because it was like she was biting his knuckles, and then he was like, stop. I'm trying to save you. I was like,
Right?
okay.
He,
But
he
yeah, and
he's yeah.
it's even more awkward too because she doesn't have kids. And he's like, your son sent me in the future. And she's like, what? I'm a single woman with no children. What are you talking about?
And
Bizarre.
then I thought that scene played out really well because if it was a stranger, it puts you in the mindset of Sarah. If I was being told this, would I believe this person or not? And even though he protected me, I think that this guy's losing his mind because I don't have no kids. I don't know a John Connor. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why you're over here saying that you're from the future or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. You've watched way too much sci-fi films. You need to call George Lucas up, you know?
but
But yeah,
seeing Arnold like the Terminator in the disco scene get his chest blown off and then jump back up, that would give you some hint like maybe this guy's telling the truth. It's some
right,
strange stuff.
exactly. And that's going to come back in a minute at the police station
Yes.
too. Because I like how Sarah asked them those questions
Yes.
too. But another thing too that I want to mention is this. This is always one of my other favorite scenes where you have Arnold who's fixing up his arm and everything else, and you see the skeleton of the robot, and it's just so horrifying to see that. And then him covering up that one eyeball with the sunglasses and stuff like that too. And then Reese also explaining the exoskeleton and stuff like that, the genetics of the robot and everything. I thought that was really cool. As he's telling that story, this is being played out at the same time. And then, of course, then of course at that point in time, Reese and them do wind up getting arrested, and Sarah's brought into custody. And then you have that other scene that now we're inside the interrogation.
Yeah, that scene was entirely too long. The eyeball, I have to look at him pierce his eyes and then the eyeball come out and then he just like fidgeting around with it like I'm trying to turn this on. I'm like, okay, this is way too long. We need to cut,
The
and then
extended cut was a lot longer than that, though.
then you get to see like the actual mechanical head moving around and you're like, I see that that's fake. There's no movie magic. And then it's Arnold, and then it pops back to him. But then it works because then
Mm-hmm.
you're like, but he's a robot, so it kind of works to see like the fake head moving around, animatronics moving around outside the movie magic, but then seeing Arnold moving around. It's a strange way it works, even though
Right,
it's like,
especially with the arm, though, too, Tamika. Like the
yeah,
robotic arm, but the
yes,
skin,
yes.
and it works. Those special effects still hold up, in my opinion.
Yes, they're like bad but good.
At the
If
same
that
time, all
makes
except the
sense. Yeah.
part. The only thing that didn't work was whenever you actually see the full skeleton, because it's a slow stop motion. So that's like the only thing I have to say that
No,
doesn't
that
really hold
works
up.
too. That works too, because then it's like, oh, his gravity is off because he's like a robot. And
But
that's
yeah,
how
at
we
the
can make
police,
excuses for it.
you're trying to justify it, and here I am trying to use
James
logic.
Cameron got me. I'm telling you, he just pulled me right into the fantasy. I'm like looking at these
But
animatronics,
I
like,
think you can actually say that though too, because of the fact with the feet that's actually part of the skeleton is not. You could see like two little things over there. That's just him slowly walking.
yeah. But yeah,
So
like he just trying to figure out our gravity. That's all, John.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, at the police station, Sarah's reassured, reviewed by the criminal psychologist, Peter Silberman, douchebag, who believes that Reese is insane,
Yeah.
delusional, a loon. Reese's claims about the future and the advanced robot's mission are dismissed as those of a raving lunatic. Clearly, someone's suffering from the psychotic delusions. The police also have logical explanations about the Terminator. They think that he survived several bullets with the bulletproof vest, and that when he smashed through a windshield with his bare hand, he must have broken every bone in his arm, but wouldn't feel it for hours, as he was probably on PCP.
Yes, I
So,
was gonna say, don't forget the drugs now.
right, it's the 80s. They did a lot of drugs back then.
Did a lot of PCP. He's like, he's just on PCP. That's why he hopped
That's
back up
all.
and he got his chest blown off.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you break down that scene though with Sarah asking those questions.
You just
Where
did.
Well, no. Basically, what I want to do is this, okay? So Sarah is over there in the interrogation room. Well, if that's true, then
Yes.
why was he able to get up after the blast to the chest with a shotgun, especially
Uh-huh.
3 or 4 rounds? Oh, that's because we have bulletproof vest. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but bulletproof vests are not going to end up blocking that much damage with a shotgun blast.
No.
Okay, so
It's
okay, that
new
might be
bulletproof
believable,
vest. Yeah, it's
right?
new bulletproof vest.
I don't
Okay.
know about that. Even in Lethal Weapon 3, you had hollow point bullets that broke through the bulletproof vest. And you mean to
Okay.
tell me that
Well, you know what, Miss Connor, he's just on PCP. Okay. That's all. Okay, that's all we got for you. He's on drugs.
that's
Next.
it? I can just see him throwing his papers up in the air. He's like,
That's it. He's
that's
on
it.
drugs. He's on drugs.
It's
And I
PCP. That's it.
mean, just like how the criminologist or criminal psychologist
Right.
was explored in the moment with Reese. And he's like, this guy's a loon. This is great. I'm gonna make so much money off of him. You know, it's like so creepy that he would even do that. But you also see the corruption in the police force as well, which I
Right.
feel like all these 80 movies are just showing us the corruption of the police. Oh,
Exactly. But,
oh God.
then, she's like, well, is he really crazy? Well, I'm here to find that out.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, so they sent you from the future, huh?"
Huh?
Yes, they did. And then cybernet.
Hey,
Okay, all right.
hey,
Yes.
right.
I would have said, "Why did you arrive naked?"
Because we have security footage of you in this other one, and
Yes.
there's only thunderstorms that happen during the electrical outages.
And you're here to save Sarah Connor. Okay. Out of all the
Mm-hmm.
women, why her? I just told you. We wasting time. He's on his way here. Okay, Mr. Reese, calm
Cool story,
down now.
bro.
Calm down. It's gonna be
You're
okay.
right.
We believe you. You know that we believe you. Why
And
they
then,
taking notes?
you know what though? Then after that, in Judgment Day, I like the fact that they make him come back in Judgment Day.
Oh man, yeah. Like when I may be jumping ahead, but I think the cool scene was when the psychologist walked out the police station, and then the Terminator walked in right
Yep.
at the same moment. I was like,
Yeah.
"What? Oh my god!"
Yeah. Like mere minutes later, that's when he arrives at the
Yeah,
station.
yeah. And he's like, "I'm here for Sarah Connor. I want to see her. I am the visitor. Do not take
And
any visitors." Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I
and
mean,
then
I'll be
drives. I'll be
back.
back.
I'll
And then
be
drives.
back.
And then drives the car right through the police station.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
in the lobby, destroying the lobby and killing the desk sergeant. The machine, now heavily armed with AR-18 carbine and SPAS 12-round shotgun, begins a one-man massacre on the station, killing 17 police officers in its determined search, causing a power outage, setting a fire, and greatly damaging the building in the shootout. Part of the station eventually collapses. Reese and Sarah are able to escape once again and go into hiding in a cave.
Mm,
They then rent a free room for a tiki motel, not a hotel, motel, where
yes.
Reese begins teaching Sarah how to build homemade explosives while having sex. I mean, while
I mean, the danger and explosive turned her on. She came on to him first. I want you to know that. She came on to him
Mhm.
because he was in a vulnerable moment. And then she was like, okay, let's have sex. He's like, what's a Terminator after us? Take your clothes off. Okay.
Whatever you want to do, I'm
Whatever
fine.
you want to do. It just remind me of like they do that in every scene, like every movie or TV show. Like The Walking Dead, they having sex and there's zombies after them. It's something about
Well, they're
danger
taking a break. The
make
zombies and the robot, yeah, they're just taking a break.
something
They're
about
gonna let him get it
danger that
on.
just make people want to have sex. Ah, this Terminator is after us. Let's have sex.
But yeah, this is also the scene where basically in the cave where we have that flashback of Reese
Yeah.
and of him just having that one little flashback of in the future, and then Sarah's picture burning, and then you have that one thing of the T-800 coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
So
Reese is John's father, right?
yep,
Yeah, because she was asking, she was like, well, who is his father? And he was like, some dude. He never said. It's like, okay. Like, I don't know why didn't he tell her? I guess what by telling her would that mess up the future events or I don't
I
know.
think so.
Okay.
But I don't even think he knew who his father was, because remember he said
Oh
that he
yeah.
doesn't know who his father is.
Yes, that's true.
So Reese didn't even know.
Well, I thought you were talking about John. Didn't know who his father was.
No, John doesn't know who his father is, but Reese, I don't think, also knows that he was going to be the father of John.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So during the night at the motel, Sarah and Reese discuss their feelings, where Sarah expresses her disbelief and feeling of shame at being the mother of mankind's only hope. She doubts Reese's account of Sarah being thought as a legendary warrior in the future and says he must be disappointed. He quietly denies this, saying that he was given a picture of Sarah by Connor himself for good luck, and that he fell deeply in love with the woman in the photo, admitting his passionate feelings for Sarah, who is deeply touched. Kyle thinks he has made a fool of himself and tries to retain his cool stature, stating that he shouldn't have said it. But Sarah incorporates his desire, and the two start to kiss and then have intimate sex.
See, she came on to
That's
him.
what I have in my notes.
Yeah, she came
So,
on to him. See? He was like, I'm a failure. No, you're not. Let's have sex. Okay.
yep, it's all good.
That's
Look,
pretty
I,
much
I
how
I
it
like
went.
the fact that you discuss your feelings with me and everything. It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes. This is a safe space. Let's have sex. Okay.
Okay, no problem. So after that happens, later as Sarah and Kyle get dressed, they hear the sound of barking dogs. The Terminator has found them.
Mm,
Sarah and Reese flee in a truck as the T-800 chases them on a motorcycle through a tunnel. During the chase, Kyle is mortally wounded by a gun shot from the Terminator while throwing the homemade pipe bombs at T-800. In a rage, Sarah rams the motorcycle, causing both her and the machine to crash violently. The T-800 commanders a massive tanker truck.
mm.
After killing the driver, shoots the terrifying passenger and tries to drive over Sarah while the injured Reese inserts a pipe bomb into the exhaust of the vehicle. The resulting explosion destroys the tanker, and the Terminator limps through the rubble as its synthetic human flesh covering completely burns away, revealing the gleaming metal cyborg. An endoskeleton beneath the monstrous cyborg continues to chase Sarah and Reese 2 foot into a Idaho relic facility, revealing a also too this is also a deleted scene to be
Oh,
cyber. So this is actually a Cyberdyne Systems facility.
okay.
Little fun fact.
Okay. Cool.
So I definitely, we both said that we were both fans of chase scenes and stuff like that.
Yes, this
This
was
one was
good.
really good
Yes, it
as
had a
well.
giant truck in it that caught on fire.
And then, of course, this is also where the skin winds up burning off the Terminator. And I definitely like how the Terminator's on fire, and you're wondering, okay, well, is he dead or is he alive or anything like that
Yeah.
too? After all that, and I remember as a kid just being horrified at the fact that this thing is still alive after the explosion, and he only has one agenda is to kill this woman at no stop and everything too. So, just seeing that horrific thing happen again as an adult,
Mhm.
everything, yeah, like I said that it was kind of outdated with the slow mo and stuff like that. But at the same time, though, too, with the stop motion, I mean.
Mhm.
But at the same time, too, though, you can't help but be horrified because this thing is still after her.
Yeah, and then there's this sense of defeat. Like there's this sense of victory. Like, yeah, we did it. We burnt him up. He's dead. And then, like you said, you see everything falling off, his flesh falling off, and you're like, crap, this dude ain't dead. But also, it's like a love story. Because he's like, my love is burning for you, Sarah. Nothing can stop me. I'm going to show you who I really am. Oh, take off my flesh and show you the real me, Sarah.
Show you what's inside of me.
Yes, Reese can't love you like I can. I'm after you.
Oh my!
Watch this on Valentine's Day. Boom. That's all I got.
Or I want to know what love is playing in the background.
I want to know what love is. And then he's like walking to her. She's like, no, I'm with Reese. And he's like, no, Sarah, I
And then
walked through fire for you.
and then the police is singing every breath you take.
He's like,
All
he's
right,
stalking us.
the Monster Cyber continues to chase Sarah and Reese to foot into a facility, like I said, and first strikes it with a metal bar. Okay, so
Yeah.
in a valiant effort to stop the machine, first strikes it with a metal bar, reviving more fatal blows as the machine basically winds up taking his backhand swipe. Kyle manages to blow apart the robot's torso by inserting another homemade pipe into the hydraulic components in the abdomen, destroying the lower half and eventually killing himself and injuring Sarah in the leg due to debris from the blast. Man, that thing had no chill. Like it was still crawling.
Yes, and I like the way James Cameron put it as it's like this inevitable force. Like, yeah, you blow up the torso, but he's like, no, I'm still coming for my girl, Sarah. Sarah, I love you, baby. I'm still alive for you. And then he's like, no, I don't want you. You killed my boyfriend, Reese. And he's like, he's dead now. We can be together. And then, that final scene before she like smashes him and his arm is reaching out like, I just want to feel you. I just want your
reach out and touch fate.
I just want your touch. And then
that
like
love and feeling.
yeah, and then his hand slowly like descends and it's like, oh, I kind of feel sad for him. He just wanted to touch her. He just wanted to know what love was.
Right? Well, he didn't find out what love was, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was like right here. I mean, I'm talking about the scary part now. His mechanical hand was like right here, right before she crushed him, and then she's like, huh. Like that is scary. Okay. and then if he like woke up too, I'll be like, well, dang, what can kill this thing?
Well, a hydraulic press machine will do the trick.
Yeah, but
1,000 times.
What if he like woke up from that?
Well, don't forget he got his head crushed though too, which is the main part of the brain, which is also part of the memory that
Yeah, and that's another flaw in the system. They should have put a backup somewhere. Take it.
But yeah, then after that, the scene is then of course after that happens, after she winds up taking the 1,000 tons pressure to crush the Terminator, and she winds up surviving, the scene then jumps forward, showing the aftermath of the film's events. Sarah is now several months pregnant with a boy,
Oh,
revealing the movie's twist by sending back a protector for his mother. John Connor actually inventively created his own existence in their one night stand together. Reese
ah,
had conceived a child with Sarah, paradoxically becoming John's father. She acknowledges this during a recording she has taped, which she will later give to her son when she has reached the proper age. When he has reached the proper age, I should say. So
wow.
then Sarah stops at a gas station in Mexico on November 10th, 1984. She has
Mhm.
now become a fugitive from society, where she has a photograph taken of herself before departing. In a final twist of fate, the audience sees that this is exactly the same picture that Kyle Reese carries in the future. Sarah then drives off into the distance to train her son in preparation for his destiny. In the distance, storms are approaching over the mountains. The end credit starts to roll as the Jeep disappears.
Wow. Isn't that awesome? He like created his own existence through a one
Without
night.
him even knowing that he was going to be creating his own existence. He
Right?
only knew that she was going to be pregnant with a son, but he didn't know who the father was going to be, which is mind blowing if you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah. See, that's the good part about Terminator, like the beginning Terminators. Like
Like
the
life,
plot
one life
twist.
ends and another one begins.
Yeah, the plot twist, they you don't see them coming and you're like, whoa, that's trippy and that's cool. And then you get further in the series and you're like, oh, that's messy. I don't know. No, you're doing too much. Like maybe that's a problem with all the Terminator films. Like they started
That's the
off
problem
good,
I find with
yeah,
them.
with the plot twist. And then they like, oh, okay, let's twist this further and further and further and further. And then
And go down the rabbit hole.
yeah. Like you don't need to go
And
down there.
that's why I don't like Terminator Dark Fate either, because of the fact that with all that character arc with John Connor, then you're going to go on ahead and kill him in
Yeah.
Terminator Dark Fate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made me pissed off at the Terminator Dark Fate. I wish it would go back to this. This is what they need to go back to, the roots of what Terminator was. It was a horrifying sci-fi action movie. And also with the second one too, though, if you think about it, that's
Yeah.
also another horror element though to it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they can do a reboot because Arnold is very, very old. But in the
Right.
last Terminator, they said, oh, he aged because I forgot how they put it. Some kind of way
Well,
he aged.
well, here's the thing with that though. In the extended version of the Terminator, I believe, and if I'm wrong, people tell me. I know that you guys will correct me if I'm wrong because you guys are good at that. But um, but I think that what he
Shade.
has to do is, I think there's a way that you have to drill through either the eyeball or the head or somewhere around there. Where his memory is,
Mm-hmm.
in order for him to not have that program to kill.
Oh,
For him to just say, I woke up one day and I decided I was not going to kill no more.
yeah.
No.
Uh-uh.
It should have been explained better in Terminator Dark Fate, because not everybody's seen the extended version of the very first Terminator movie. So they could have went back with a flashback of him doing that. Better
So,
explain that.
well, now I got to revisit too. So
Well, part one, it was
when he came back in two, was it John that rebooted him?
I think
Because
it was a different version of the T-800.
okay,
I have to go back and rewatch it,
yeah, me
but I
too.
think it was a different version of that Terminator,
Okay,
because then you have the liquid Terminator, which is the T-1000.
okay, okay. And he gave him like, "Don't kill this woman."
You're
Whoever.
here to protect. You're here to protect John Connor at all costs and his mother.
Okay.
So John is basically the one who's trying to protect his mother now.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I really gotta
Yeah.
go back and visit because it makes me want to go down a further rabbit hole. Like, okay, well, who came up with this new version and
Well,
told him you don't have to kill Sarah? Your new motive is to protect John.
right. But I think this movie is still good. I still enjoy watching it. I'm glad I got a chance to rewatch this recently. I think There are some things that don't hold up as well or whatever, but all in all, I love the chase scenes like we mentioned, the action sequences, the horrifying elements within the sci-fi itself, and everything. Especially that club scene still ends up as very horrifying. Still scares me today.
I think this whole movie scares me. I know I joked that it was a love story, but it's like this force that just keeps coming and nothing can stop it until it
Oh,
kills Sarah Connor is scary enough. Like
exactly.
you can't kill this thing. You set it on fire, it keep walking. You have to basically find a factory
And
and,
kill this thing.
and get it under like a presser in order for it to die.
You
And
know
then
what the?
finally it gets killed.
But you know what's funny? When I used to go over to Bogalusa, which is over in Louisiana, right? They have a sawmill over there. So the first thing I'm thinking of is the Terminator. Every single time, whenever I was a kid, I was thinking the Terminator.
Now I gotta like figure out where factories are. Cause like you know how you prepare for the zombie apocalypse? It's like, okay, well now I gotta prepare for like Skynet.
Cyborgs, right?
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, how would I get rid of an AI um, robot or whatever? I don't know.
I don't know either. But guys, that's gonna be it as far as this show goes.
I don't be thinking about that all night.
You have my number. You can text me if you have any questions,
What if we do this? Oh God.
right? But anyways, guys, I'm glad that you guys watched this video and stuff like that. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All that other good stuff here. Rossie and I will be doing a show on Wednesday. We're going to do one live one and then one regular audio only recording.
Nice.
So we're going to do one. But anyways, we'll let you know what that's going to be. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Yeah.